Somewhere in your closet right now, there is something you bought on sale that still has the tag on it. You know exactly which one. That is not a coincidence, and it is not a personal failure. That purchase was engineered using the same cognitive science that powers slot machines and stock trading for us. This video is about exactly how that engineering works. The bias that makes a $60 item feel free when it is marked down from $120. And exactly how to spot it before you spend a cent. Phenomenon. Picture the last time you walked into a store or scrolled through a website and felt that particular pull. The red stickers, the crossed out numbers, the banner that says 40% off, today only. Something tightens in your chest. You move faster. You pick things up. You start doing math in your head that you would never do otherwise. Calculating how much you are saving rather than how much you are spending. And here is the strange part. You often walk out having spent more than you planned and feeling good about it. Researchers who study consumer behavior have a name for this phenomenon. They call it the price discount effect, and it does not just influence what you buy. It changes how you perceive value itself. The number that was crossed out, the original price, becomes the reference point your brain uses to judge everything else. The sale price does not feel like a cost. It feels like a rescue. You are not spending money. You are saving it. That fundamental misperception is not a quirk of weak-willed shoppers. It is a predictable, repeatable feature of how every human brain processes numerical anchors under conditions of artificial scarcity. Mechanism. The first cognitive force at work is called the anchoring effect, and it was documented in landmark research by Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky in the 1970s. The principle is straightforward, but the implications are staggering. When your brain encounters any numerical decision, it seizes on the first number it sees, the anchor, and uses that number as the baseline for every subsequent judgment. In a retail context, that anchor is the original price. The retailer sets the anchor deliberately. A jacket priced at $200, marked down to $80, does not feel like an $80 jacket. It feels like a $200 jacket available for $80. Your brain is not evaluating the $80 against your budget or your needs. It is evaluating it against the $200. The gap between those numbers, $120, is what you experience as value. And here's the crucial detail. The original price does not have to be real. It just has to be visible. Studies on consumer price perception show that shoppers consistently rate items as higher quality when a crossed-out price is present, even when the item itself is identical to one sold without the markup. The anchor manufactures value that did not exist before the retailer printed it on a blank hanging tag shape. You are not perceiving reality. You are perceiving a number they chose for you. The anchoring effect explains why the deal feels valuable. But there is a second mechanism that explains why you feel you must act now. Kahneman and Tversky's work on prospect theory, foundational to modern behavioral economics, established that losses feel approximately twice as powerful as equivalent gains. Losing $20 produces roughly twice the emotional impact of gaining $20. Retailers weaponize this asymmetry through the language of the sale. When a limited time offer expires, you are not simply missing a discount. You are losing money you already felt you had. The crossed-out price already told your brain that the lower number was yours. When the sale ends, the mental account closes in deficit. A 2022 study published in Business, Economics, and Entrepreneurship, examining flash sale promotions and their effect on consumer behavior, found that time-limited discount framing produced measurably higher impulse purchasing rates, independent of product need or prior purchase intent. The urgency was not responding to a real scarcity of goods. It was responding to a manufactured scarcity of time. The product does not disappear when the clock runs out. Your sense of loss does not care about that distinction. Loss aversion is not a personality flaw. It is evolutionary. Your ancestors who treated potential losses as emergencies survived. That same threat response now fires when a countdown timer reaches 0 on a pair of shoes you had not thought about until 4 minutes ago. Trap. The anchoring effect and loss aversion do not exist in isolation in the real world. They are stacked, layered, and deployed in sequence by retail systems designed by teams of behavioral scientists whose entire job is to convert your cognitive vulnerabilities into revenue. Walk into any major department store, Macy's, Nordstrom, JCPenney, and notice that almost nothing is ever sold at its listed original price. The original price is not a real price, it is an anchor. Industry analysts have documented for decades that major retailers use a practice called high-low pricing, artificially inflating the regular price to make the perpetual sale price feel like a discount. The item is always on sale, the sale is the price, but your brain does not process it that way. It processes the crossed-out number as a loss avoided, every single time, because the anchor resets with each visit. The store is not giving you a deal. It is renting space in your working memory and using it to manufacture a feeling of victory. Dan Ariely's research on arbitrary coherence, documented in his book Predictably Irrational, demonstrates that once an anchor is set, it shapes every subsequent price judgment a consumer makes, sometimes for hours after leaving the store. You do not just buy one discounted item. The first anchor recalibrates your entire price perception for the rest of the shopping trip. If physical retail anchors your price perception, the flash sale is the mechanism that bypasses your deliberation entirely. Amazon Prime Day, Cyber Monday, the Shein Axe daily 15-minute countdown. These are not sales in the traditional sense. They are behavioral engineering tools designed to collapse your decision-making window to a point where the rational prefrontal cortex cannot fully engage. Behavioral economist Richard Thaler's work on mental accounting, for which he was awarded the Nobel Prize in Economics in 2017, shows that humans do not evaluate money as a single unified resource. We keep separate mental accounts, one for groceries, one for entertainment, one for clothes. Flash sales exploit this by framing the purchase as a win for one account, while obscuring the total draw on overall budget. You are not thinking about how much you have spent today. You are thinking about how much you saved on this item, in this moment, before the timer runs out. The 2022 flash sales study cited earlier found that this time pressure mechanism operated independently of whether the consumer had any prior purchase intention for the product. They had not planned to buy it. The countdown created the intention. That is the distinction between a sale and a trap. A sale responds to your existing need. A trap manufactures the need and then appears to fulfill it, all within the span of a 3-minute countdown clock. There is a third deployment of this mechanism that is quieter and more insidious than anything on a retail floor or a flash sale timer. It lives in your bank account right now. The subscription discount. Spotify, Netflix, Adobe Creative Cloud, your gym membership, your meal kit delivery. Nearly every subscription service in the modern economy was acquired during a promotional period. 50% off for the first 3 months. Annual plan saves you 30% versus monthly. The discount was the anchor that got you in the door. Loss aversion is what keeps you there after the price normalizes. Canceling a subscription does not just feel like stopping a payment, it feels like giving something up, even when you have not used the service in months. The mental account for the subscription is still open. The original discounted price is still the anchor your brain uses to evaluate the full price. Well, tell yourself, it is only $10 a month, but the $10 is never the issue. The issue is that the discount manufactured an attachment to a service you now feel you would be losing, not simply stopping. Behavioral economists call this the sunk cost fallacy, compounded by status quo bias. You are not evaluating the subscription on its current value. You are evaluating the pain of changing a default. The discount opened the door. Loss aversion locked it from the inside. Defense. The mechanism is predictable. That means it is interruptible. The defense against anchoring, loss aversion, and manufactured urgency is not willpower. Willpower depletes. The defense is a single structural question you ask before any discounted purchase, and it takes approximately 4 seconds. The question is, would I buy this at this price if there were no crossed-out number above it? Strip the anchor. Evaluate the item at the sale price alone, as if that were the only price that had ever existed. If the answer is no, if you would not walk into a store and pay $80 for that jacket if the tag simply read $80, then you are not buying the jacket. You are buying the feeling of winning against an anchor the retailer set. For subscriptions, run a 30-day audit once per quarter. Pull every recurring charge. For each one, ask, did I use this in the last 30 days? If not, cancel it today, regardless of the switching cost. Loss aversion will argue with you. Ignore it. The pain of cancellation is not real money leaving. It is a cognitive artifact of the original discount. For flash sales, install a 24-hour rule. If the item is still available tomorrow at full price, buy it then if you still want it. If it is gone, you have lost nothing you actually had. What you have done is interrupted the countdown clock before it could manufacture a decision you would regret. Every discount sale you have ever encountered was built on the same architecture. A number chosen to make another number feel small. A clock chosen to make a decision feel urgent. A promotional period chosen to manufacture attachment before the real price reveals itself. None of that is your failure. The cognitive biases being exploited, anchoring, loss aversion, status quo inertia, are not weaknesses. They are the features of a mind that evolved to make fast decisions in environments where prices were not fabricated by a team of behavioral consultants. You were not built to resist this. You were built to do exactly what you did. What changes now is not your psychology. It is your awareness of the architecture. The next time you feel that particular pull, the tightening, the math you never meant to start doing, the sense that time is running out, you will know what is happening inside your head. You will have a name for it, and you will have a question that stops it cold. The crossed out number is not real. The urgency is not real. The only real number is the one with no story attached to it. If this changed how you think about discount sales, explore Why Your Brain Believes Lies. It is on screen now. And if you have not already, hit subscribe. We publish every Wednesday.